Welcome to Bisexual Answers. My name is Marcus Morgan, and I look a little bit like this. One of the questions we're often asked as bisexual people is, why aren't more of you in queer relationships? If you're also bisexual then? The problem with this is that people are thinking that somehow we're obliged to be, or that a relationship with a bisexual person in it stops being queer depending on the gender of our partners. This isn't true. We and our partners are a member of the LGBT community, regardless of their genders or whether we have partners at all. But a lot of people do find it odd that the bi couples they meet aren't all same sex. And why is this? Well, if you're the sort of person that has this attitude, it might be people aren't out to you. It might be that you're assuming everyone in what you see as gay couples are gay people. But also, it might be maths. Now, maths is horrible and scary, of course, so I'm going to try and simplify this down as much as I can. And in doing so, I'm going to have to cut a few corners. Here, for example, are some corners. Let's take 100 people. I know I have. And to make this easy, I'm going to assign half of them male and half of them female. Just now, not at birth, and for the point of this exercise. And I know this is not the way the world works, but like I said, it's very simplified. So 50 men and 50 women. Now, let's suppose I'm attracted to 1 in 5 people. That's 20 in our sample. 20 people who all anyway, 20 people. They're all very nice. I like those. Well, that's 10 men and 10 women. So why doesn't that mean that 50% of couples in the bi community are queer? Well, because who we are attracted to is only half the story. We also need to consider who is attracted to us. Now, the numbers vary, but let's say that 20% of the people in this sample happen to be LGBT+, and that half of those people, which is probably about right, half of those people are bi. Adding them on across the middle, so we have a nice intersection. There they are. Some are bi, some are not. That's the queer people. Now, there are some people on this grid. There are some people on this grid who it doesn't matter whether I'm attracted to them or not. And in the case of some of them, I'm not attracted to them, they're not attracted to me. We could just make them disappear. How nice it would be if we could just make straight men disappear like this. It doesn't really matter whether I find them attractive or not. We're just not compatible. And there's some gay men and bisexual men there which we can take out too. I don't mean take out on a date, obviously. I mean take off the graph. And now we're down to a much smaller number. Doing the same thing on the other side for the women, not just the straight women but also the lesbian women and the bisexual women that I'm not finding attractive, means that my dating pool has shrunk enormously. Do you know what else has shrunk enormously? The jokes I was going to make in this section. And so here we are. How many of these people will find me attractive? How many of them will find me attractive, especially when I tell them I'm bisexual? Now this is, of course, a huge simplification. Other things do bring the ratio down further. Firstly, whenever you're out and about, straight people are much easier to spot because LGBT people might not be out. And generally it's safer to assume someone is straight in a conversation. They're less likely to get violently upset with you. And also there's fewer places to meet out LGBT people, especially with the pandemic on. There are other reasons, and if you can think of any of them, add them in the comments. So that's it. The reason why most bisexual couples you see aren't queer looking is because you don't know what you're looking at and maths simply isn't on our side. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to this video to help other people find this very simple answer. You can find more questions and answers at our website bisexualindex.org.uk or on our Twitter at bisexualindex. Goodbye.